Good morning, I guess I should say. I got a handful of plants sitting out here. I do get a lot of questions, and I'm going to remind people again, I'm kind of new to orchids, so I'm not kind of new, I'm very new to orchids. But there's some of the phals that I have, and I'm trying to keep my shadow out of everything. But the question was about flower spikes and cutting flower spikes, and should you cut flower spikes, and when do you cut a flower spike? Um, on Other than a phal, I'm not sure if I can give you the proper answer. I know, like on this Oncidium, it's starting to bloom again. Little Gowrie Ramsay type, little dancing lady. Um, it The spikes will reabsorb. I know it will slowly eat its spike back up, and it doesn't seem to matter how much nutrients I give it or what I do. It seems to continually eat its spikes back up. They don't seem to resprout from the spikes. I've never had one do that, but again, I'm new to these, so I can't answer if that's what these will do. If these will resprout from that Oncidium. Like a Dendrobium, Again, I'm new to these too, so I don't know if I cut the spikes off after they finish blooming and the spike has gone brown. That's usually when I cut it off, but I don't see these continually blooming from the same spikes. I'm not aware of that anyway. I thought it was more of a seasonal thing. If that's not correct, then I guess somebody will have to teach me as well as the others. Um, that's that little phal that we moved in with everybody. It's doing real well. I need to get it repotted too, and it's actually doing really, really well. I'll show you that's the roots on it, and it's actually due for a drink today. But it's got nice tips coming out. It's got some new growth. Flowers are so fragrant. Wish you could smell it. It fills the whole patio out here. And it's got a nice new leaf coming out. Let me move this one out of the way. This one is one that I started upping the phosphorus and the potassium on some of these to see what I could do. I watched a video, gentleman Victor. One of my subscribers was had some of his phals growing in his fish tank. He's been using the water from his fish tanks because there's a high phosphate. I know it's a high phosphate, and but it's probably very low on ammonia and stuff like that. It's probably a very smooth, easy absorbable nitrate fertilizer as well. But anyway, after watching that video, it kind of triggered a few things, and I started adjusting my fertilizer a little bit, the potassium and phosphorus, so they don't have to eat the spikes possibly. Research shows, from what I've been finding out, that these guys take a lot more nitrogen than typical Oncidiums or even Cattleyas for that matter. Some of the phals can, and have more needs for phosphorus or potassium versus what some of the manufacturers say for lower phosphorus or potassium. They won't re-eat their spikes, I don't believe. And what I'm finding out by upping the P and K at the right times, they're holding their spikes. Let me give you an example here. Here's one. And this is what Victor was having good luck with. He was having plants that were not only had 2 or 3 spikes on them, but were regrowing their spikes. Like this one is regrowing a spike again, and is sending up another additional spike and has another spike coming out down there. That's what I'm trying to get done. I don't want them to lose the spikes. I want them to keep the spike, continually grow it if they can, and still have enough nutrition to be able to do that. And the tips are coming back out on this one. Same with this one, it's regrowing. Even though it finished blooming, it's starting to come back out again. And it's got a new spike coming. Oops, sorry about that. I can't hardly see because of the light, but it has a new spike coming. This one, same thing. It's finished blooming, but up the P and K a little bit. Early on I did it, early on before they finished blooming, to make sure they had enough to sustain. And it seems to be working so far. I'm noticing new growth on both the spikes, and this one had a double spike, and this one also has another spike. If you can see anything, this one also has another spike coming out, so that'll be its 3rd spike, and the 2 that are here are coming back out again. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish, and that's what I'm trying to do. To answer the question, this one has a spike also coming out. To answer the question, if I do have to cut a spike, I'll leave at least 1 node or so, one of these nodes at least, and preferably 2, because 9 times out of 10 on ones that I've had, and again, I'm new to orchids, they have bloomed from those nodes. It seems like that's what they do. This one, same thing. Doing real pretty, it's rebloom. All these little ones, and this is they have new spikes coming out. I've upped the P and K on these as well because we had some phosphorus deficiencies we were shown before. But one of the things that's happened is I've got spikes popping out on them. And I know a lot of that has to do with the season and everything, but they're not only popping spikes out, new spikes, but they still have their others, and the others are starting to get budded out too. So this one will have 3 spikes on it. I don't know if that's how common that is in these little ones. This spike, it started eating it. It actually started eating the tip. I actually gave this one a longer, that's a sunburn, sorry. And actually gave this one a longer couple of soaks and a little bit additional. But at very low doses, and one of the things I've noticed is the spike seems to be greening back up, and I don't know if I'm going to lose the tip now. It looks like it may be trying to come back out. And this one definitely is trying to branch back out. So I don't know. Food for thought, food for thought, food for thought. I think there's, as far as cutting the spikes, only cut it back to leave at least 1 or 2 nodes if you can. For the sake of the plant, sometimes you have to cut the spike off completely and let the nourishment and whatever it needs, you need to let the energy go back into the plant. There's a couple of articles I've read, and that's actually mentioned in several of the orchid books. Even the older orchid books, don't get greedy with don't get greedy with blooms. You're pulling a lot of energy away from a plant when it starts to try to do reproduction. So these plants don't sit out in the sun like this, by the way. They're just sitting here while I'm filming this morning. I need to repot that one in lava rock this morning. This one right here, this new phal is going to go in lava rock. And then I've got some of those bag babies that I need to get back packaged up as well. But I'm kind of taking a break here these last couple of days on filming and everything, just to get caught up on a few other things. But another one that's keeping it spike and has another one coming. This is another one of those little pink girls, and it's got a spike coming out as well. Another one, real pretty, mottled foliage. I got hawks upset about something up there this morning. They're circling around fighting or something. Dendrobium spike, big sherry baby spike I've noticed coming out on that one. But anyway, have a great day. I'm going to get busy with my work. Get out and enjoy your weather if you can, and enjoy your garden. Thanks a lot for all the comments and watching.